Hibu, Hawk, Salam, Huriyatun, Walden. That's Moorish Arabic for love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. The 5 principles of the Moorish nation. I, self, law, and master. Vadi make 'em Moors. The title and the message of this video is the consciousness of the mystic Moors, the consciousness of the Moorish Magi. It is incumbent upon the Moorish nation, especially upon the youth, to return to that way of thinking of their mothers and fathers, that they might manifest and re-manifest the Moorish nation and bring it back to its full height and its full glory. We were branded Negroes, coloreds, and blacks. We were subjugated, reduced to the thought and the feeling and the action of the beast of the field. Many of us still mire under these same conditions. And the cause of that condition is not some external imposition upon us. It's a continual remanifestation of our condition, coming from within, manifesting without. We are divine beings, primordial beings who came before time and space, who have fallen to an all-time low, encased within carnal flesh, slaves to the desires and the weaknesses that arise from carnal flesh. Of all the nationalities on the planet Earth, honestly, the Negroes, coloreds, and blacks are the least equipped for the challenges and struggles of the earth plane. For the simple reason that we are divine beings who aren't even from this planet. We come from a place that has no name. Our ancestry is beyond noble. Our ancestry is divine. And we fell gradually, thousands of years by thousands of years, losing more and more consciousness to the point where some of the Magi of old had to actually inscribe in the language of symbolism their thought process on the walls of their temples, what we call the pyramids, in order to make sure that their children had access to that information. But it's gotten to a point, the Moors have fallen so low that they can't even comprehend the language of symbolism anymore. Not on the same level as those ancient ones. Some of these physical vessels, they even inscribed in the very, or I should say encoded, their thought process inside of the cellular memory, inside of what you and I call the DNA, so that it'll wake up when you start keying in the right thought frequencies, but it has to come from within. I say again, the Moorish nation will rise only by the will of the Moorish Magi who have awakened into the degree of adept. There is no other way. It is incumbent upon each and every Moor to return to the thought process of the divine Moorish Magi. We are not children. We are not human. We are divine. Contradict me if you will. Deny the truth if you will. But those who hear me, really listen. We have to rise, and we have to rise higher and faster than any other people has ever risen or has ever attempted to rise. Our ambition has to be higher than any other race of person on this planet Earth. Not because we're in competition with them, because they compete as men. It is incumbent upon us to exist as divine men. When I say the term divine thought process, think light. Think of light as the thought of the Creator coming out of his universal mind, out of the I singular, out of the capstone on the pyramid, and manifesting in colors and rays and taking upon itself forms and shapes in accord with his divinely set intention, in accord with his desire. The divine thought process is you repolarizing your consciousness with the capstone, with the I singular, with the silent black point from which all comes, in which all is contained, into which all returns. Taking yourself out of the mire, out of the duality of this physical, carnal, human consciousness, and rising and exalting yourself into something more, to something much more, to something much, much more. The Negroes, coloreds, and blacks, and those so labeled, have fallen to an all-time low. Their culture, if you can call it that, is truly just leftover slave traditions that they continually re-manifest by their own thinking and willing and desiring as mere carnal men, as bestial, base men who aren't even fitted with the necessary tools to live as beasts. Because the beast of the field has claws and it has teeth. And it has a killer instinct that's been sapped in most of you black gut men out there. Female lions have loyalty, and they are capable of raising their children into their proper status, which you Negro bed stenchers are utterly incapable of doing. So now it's time for us to take all of our knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, all of our theorizing and postulating, and all of our history, and all of our occult study, and make that our own by integrating